Greetings and salutations, friends, and I'm back from my vacation. And what a great time it was. I really miss England and not being boiled alive by the sun. Right, so let's have a quick look and see where we ended up. I did some work in the run up to Milton, striking, which is going to happen later on in this video. Yeah, things got a little slow at work, so I did some work around the park. Not a great deal. I added some trash areas, but this coaster, I really wasn't happy with it at the end of the thing, so we're just going to kill it and recreate one. I want to do a nice launch coaster, and I want to try and make it reasonably realistic. It's going to be a bit long for a realistic coaster, I think, but we're going to get lots of block sections in there so we can run multiple trains. So the first thing to do is pick a coaster. And that's not as easy as I first thought. I would like actually an inverted, but there is no inverted launch coaster that I want to work with. So I think eventually we go with the one that looks like the little car. See, this one looks okay, but no. So we'll go with this one. We can actually theme this car one quite nicely, I think, when we get to that point. If we get to that point, because PlanetCoaster 2 is right around the corner. Literally, it's next week. Oh my god. Alright, so I've got to get this all sorted out and done. This was, of course, recorded a week ago. Actually, 2 weeks ago. Right when Milton was coming over, as a matter of fact. But I still had power, so I decided to stream. So here we go. We're going to try and build out this coaster. We're going to make it nice and exciting. We've got that first whoop-de-doo hill there. We're going to run it around this corner. I want to try and get it to follow the terrain as much as possible, and make use of the hills and the terrain scenery that we have. And then I'm like, well, okay, so the further up here it goes, the less momentum it's going to have. So I'm going to need a boost track in here. So we do this, and then I come up with the idea of something quite cunning. I'm like, well, what if we break the train here and put it around the corner and then fire it up a hill, right? Or maybe through the hill. I mean, that's an even better idea, I think. All right. And we'll do a sort of a 0G roll at the top of that there, but we're doing a custom one instead of using the element that's built into the game. And I'm trying to keep the track below the tree line as much as I can, because again, I want this to be a a low and fast kind of deal. Right, so we're going to dig this out a little bit, and we're going to make a tunnel through here, which of course is completely inaccurate. They wouldn't dig a tunnel. What they would do is dig a trench from above to lay the track in, and then create a false roof on the top, which occurs to me later on. But right now, I'm just screwing around. Okay, let's take a look, see how this is going to fire. Alright, so it stops there, and bloop. Doesn't quite make the hill. Okay, that's fantastic. Alright, so we need to make an adjustment here. We'll just make the bottom of the hill a launch as well. Now I've got to get the track to connect. Okay, there we go. Alright, now we'll give this another little tweak here. Okay, there we go. Around we go. Pause, launch, up and over, and away we go. Brilliant. Alright, so let's continue on. We're up at this elevation now, and we've got some extra momentum from that launch there. Let's see if we can bring this around. I'd like to get like a nice helix in here, or some kind of a knot, but let's take a look here. We'll put a whoop-de-doo in here because we need some excitement. We can't just have fast track because it doesn't generate a great deal of excitement. These people want thrills of mind-blowing kind, right? They want lots of 0G and negative. Is it negative G's? you know, when you're lifted up off your seat. Not just 0G, but yeah, negative. Alright, so let's see if we can make it all the way around here. So we stop there, we get fired up there, and then oof, gets a bit slow there. A bit slow there. Okay, alright. We could put another launch in here, just a small one. And then we gotta connect this up. Okay, alright. Alright, so there, I got that there. Alright, let's take a look. And what else was going on? There was another problem. I forgot what it was. Okay, so that fires that through there. That gives that a little boost there. Okay. Alright, so we'll tweak that a little bit. We'll come around. We stop there. We get fired up there. Okay. Oh, looks like it's going to make it through there with some reasonable speed and excitement. Let's just make sure that we're not causing ourselves any issues with G-force. It's not doing it for me there. It's too slow. So instead of going up really high, let's come down and follow the terrain this way. And I'm going to make a little bow tie helix, I guess. Or do I? Do I? Okay, there. Kind of like that. Alright, well, we've got plenty of speed down here now, because even though we're not adding any speed to it using the launch system, we are going downhill, so it's going to maintain quite a lot of speed coming through here anyway. Hopefully this corner is not too tight. We're butting right up against the edge of the park terrain, so we're going to have some issues there, I think. But let's have a quick check, make sure everything's okay. We know this first section is alright. Run around there, and then we'll do a little break and launch there. I don't know if I like that, but we'll leave it for the moment. What's going on here? Alright. Break, launch. There we are. Alright. Okay. And then we'll do another break and a launch there, because these will create blocks for us, so we can run multiple trains on this track. And that's the really cool thing about the launch coasters is you can put the brakes and the launch sections anywhere and create blocks using that, because you should be able to launch it with enough force to make it through the rest of the block to the next one. Whereas obviously with gravity based coasters, or with lift hills and whatnot, or chain hills rather, you have to make sure that that block section that you've created is high enough that it gives the train momentum to get back to the station, because the last thing you really want is valleying, and that's where a train doesn't have enough speed to get back to the station, so it just rocks backwards and forwards on the lowest point of the track, at which point you need to shut the entire ride down, get everyone off of it, go and get yourself a crane, lift the train from the track, and manually hoof it back to the station where you can reattach it. Not ideal. Okay, looks like we're getting pretty close to the station here, so let's see if we can get this thing back. We're going to need our maintenance shop, so I'm going to put it there on the side, and we'll see if we can bring this back around using some kind of fun method. I wanted that kind of dip and that tunnel, and again I'm kind of creating it incorrectly. I'm going to I make the tunnel itself. What I should be doing is digging out a ditch and then backfilling the top, but we'll do that later. Alright, so let's see what we've got here. Alright, we know this first bit works. Comes all the way around to this bit. This is about right. This bit works here. Alright, there's that bit there. Whoopsie. Hello. Yeah, let's turn that into an actual launch. And we'll make sure this one's a launch as well. There we are. Okay. And in those sections, if you look in the options for the brake and the acceleration, if you scroll down a little bit, there's a little tick box to say this is a block section. So that allows you to use them as block sections, not just acceleration points. Okay. Looks like it gets back to the station. That looks like some pretty good values there. All right. So I'm liking that. It's kind of long. It'll work. We've got to obviously figure out how many trains we want to run and what the launch interval is going to be, because obviously we don't want anyone getting stuck on the track waiting for the next block section to clear. So let's just go through. We'll tidy up some of these corners. Some of these bunny hills that I created are a little bit bad. We'll just put it that way. So yeah, lots of smoothing. I like these little bits here. We gotta do this. All right. Let's dig. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is where I kind of screw things up a little bit. And I dig this out using as if I was using some kind of magical device that can dig a tunnel. And that's when my brain suddenly kicks in and I realize, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't make a tunnel. They'd make a trench and then they'd backfill it. Because the last thing you want to do is try and feed massive pieces of steel rail through a tiny little hole. So you dig a trench, you lower the rails into the trench, and then you backfill if necessary. Alright. I should slow this down so we can take a look, but I can't be bothered. Alright, there we go. That looks pretty nice. It's firing and it's launching nicely. And that's about it for the video. Because I was going to do a lot more. However, there's a storm. Yeah, Mr. Milton is really starting to ramp up at this point. And my power's about to go out. So, hope you've enjoyed the video. It was a lot of fun to redo this. Any constructive criticism is always welcome, and I will see you next time.